What is going on, man? What is going on? We made it back. Another day. Happy MLK Day for all y'all. No, they killed him. But anyway, I'm back, black, blessed, highly favored, as they would say. Man, what is going on? Shout out to everybody at the Core Plantation. If you're there, man, I know what it is. Shout out to everybody if you're not, if you got your off days. Hey, man, ain't no time like the present. You know what I'm saying? I finally, Erica, Tasha, Charlie, I finally finished that book. It's the book, My Grandmother's Hands. Go check the book out. Very good book, though. It's good. Talks about, healing and, trauma and all this other stuff, So it's a good book. I finally finished it. I started immediately on that Tariq Nasheed book. That shit is good. I didn't even want to put that shit down. His book is a good book. But anyway, shout out to everybody out there that's reading. If you ain't reading 5-10 minutes a day, shit, that's better than nothing. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody that's out there at the Core Plantation. If you're dealing with racism, white supremacy, stop acting like you ain't dealing with it. You're dealing. It's everywhere. You're never going away. It's never going away from you. Shout out to everybody out there that is moving forward and not lateral moving, but able to handle the business. Shout out to everybody that is on their quest for their journey and their knowledge. Hey, man, much popular respect to you. Shout out to all my niggas that spray themselves with anti-Sambo and anti-coon repellent before they go to the Core Plantation, because you got so many niggas that can't wait to tell on somebody. God damn, so many ass-kissing motherfuckers. I ain't never seen that shit in my life. And I gotta send a special shout out to some of my sisters that I've worked with at the Core Plantation. Shout out to Nuke. I gotta holler at Nuke, but cause man, there is some stand-up melanated people at these Core Plantations. And people think stand-up means you gotta be acting a fool and shit. You ain't gotta be acting no fool. All you gotta do is just stand on your square, handle your business, and get the fuck home, man. But we gonna get into it, man. We gonna talk about a lot of stuff today. We gonna talk about, what is his name? Van Dyke, the nigga that killed Laquan McDonald. We're gonna talk about that a little bit. And we're gonna really have a deep discussion about Marilyn Mosby, because I want to take a deeper dive into it. I mentioned it on Sunday, but here's the thing. Whether we do what they do or not, I want everybody to get the same treatment that Marilyn Mosby is getting. They literally trying to assassinate her character. For real. Straight the fuck up and down. So we gonna get into it, because that's what they do around here, man. I don't believe in that. I've always had this business model of, hey, man, if you just handle business and do what you need to do, you good. If you don't handle business and you don't do things in decency and order, your shit is gonna always be in disarray. So we gonna talk about it today. We're gonna talk about a lot of things. We're gonna talk about each one teaching 21, giving the knowledge. Because when you give the knowledge, nobody can ever say you didn't tell them. Let's get into it. Yeah, man, that shit is crazy what's going on with Marilyn Mosby. But you know what though? Shout out to that church though. I'm glad those black folk did stick with her. They had a little prayer circle, and that was some real shit. Like how they was like in support of her. You know, yeah, we can't do what they do, but that doesn't still mean that that's not our sister. You see what I'm saying? And they don't like her any. They don't like no black folk that's oppositional to the system. That's why I don't understand why we always constantly fighting each other about some sucker shit. Shout out to No Compromise too. That's my brother, man. And Tasha, I got a comment in my email. You said that you watched No Compromise show. I like his show, man. It's dope. It's dope. It's different. It's very educational, and it's stuff that everybody needs to see. So shout out to my brother No Compromise. And when I watch shit like what they doing to Marilyn Mosby, and I'm looking at Van Dyke, this nigga only did 2 or 3 years in prison. He killed somebody. And it just bases off that conversation that we had on Sunday about it. I think everybody should start getting life insurance policies. Here's the thing, though, before you want to give anybody any knowledge of what is going on, you have to have it from within you. So you have to start to decompress all the bad social engineering and socializations that you grow up with. Like, I go hard on my black Christians because I feel like as a black church, they could do more to educate our black folk, and not just with the Bible. You can educate with financial stability and property and money and saving and investing your money in things that could better us as a community. And I feel like, you know, a lot of us, we are broken. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna act like I'm not broken. I'm broken. Shit, I know I'm broken. I'm not, nigga. When I like I said, when sometimes I often think about, I just often think about my economics teacher, my econ teacher, Mr. Terry, and how I was looking at that motherfucking East Bay book, looking at Jordans, and that nigga was like, Mr. Harrison, one day, you gonna wish you did pay attention in this econ class. And Jesus, sheesh. Maybe I needed a black teacher. Maybe I needed a black guy. Maybe, you know, that's probably what it is. I feel like that's what we need. We're dealing with so much family trauma. And that's what I've been learning in my studies too. Like, man, with this slavery shit, that shit is real. Like, that shit that was going on in the 16, 17, 1800s, that shit is real, man. And we, like, damn, I forgot to bring it. I'm going to show y'all this thing that I got. Shout out to Erica. It's about Dirty Bookman. And every time he said the most profound shit. Their God asked them to commit crimes against us. Nigga, that's not our God. That is the most profound shit I've ever heard in my life. For real. Like, wait a minute, this nigga's right. Like, how can we be serving the same God, but your God telling you to commit crimes against us? No, we're not serving the same God. Not at all. So replace that imagery of that God, and you need to replace that with a black God. Oshun, Ogun, the ancestors, the black gods. Don't be equivalated to no motherfucking Cesare Borgia and some sucker shit like that. And that's where my disdain lies. And I ain't gonna lie, a lot of times I look at it every morning. I got it. It's like I'm gonna show it the next podcast. I gotta remember, it's dope. It's got his whole prayer on there. I actually want to get a shirt like that. I think, you know, shout out to my Haitian brothers and sisters. Them niggas just wasn't tolerating shit. Shout out to the descendants of Nat Turner and Nat Turner's family. Like, that nigga was like, man, fuck that shit, man. Y'all niggas on some bullshit for real. And what I liked about the brother Nat Turner, he like, no, let's get rid of them. We don't need to be killing each other. And what I liked about the Haitian Revolution, Dirty Bookman and Mac and Dog was like, no, we need to get rid of the coons first. We need to get rid of everybody that's going to tell on somebody and do some sucker shit. And that's the thing that trips me out about the Marilyn Mosby thing, because I'm like, damn, they going out of their way. Okay, I get it. Okay, she did this. But they're making what the fuck she got going on bigger than fucking Ghislaine Maxwell, who I'll always bring up. We always forget about Ghislaine Maxwell, but they are so focused on Marilyn Mosby. And I think that's some straight goofy bullshit. That's why I'm not in agreement. I ain't in agreement with fighting and arguing with my people, man. I'm older now. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. I feel like it's a waste of time. You know, as our brother Neely Fuller Jr. says, I keep this book. And the reason why I keep this book around, because it's like my Bible. For real. Neely Fuller Jr. says some real shit. He give you his definitions on shit. I suggest everybody read this book. It's the book of Eli, but it's a great book. Like I can flip through pages and look at shit that I got highlighted, and I'm like, man. Like he got this thing. It's an independent. So he's breaking down definitions. Independent means that each and every individual victim of racism is, at all times, in all places, in all areas of activity, independent in regards to his or her choice of methods used to resist and or eliminate racism and white supremacy. This means that no person, white or non-white, has the just and correct authority to force and or command any victim of racism to adopt any means of speaking and or acting against racism or other than means that the individual victim chooses for himself or herself. This nigga just... Neely Fuller Jr. is dope, man. I often be looking at this book. Sometimes I'll just flip to regular pages just to read, you know what I'm saying? Just to read the shit. He talks about the four wall theory, how we get together and don't accomplish shit. We just get together and be running our mouth. But we can't come up with no type of plan to replace the system. The first thing we have to do before we do anything, we got to stick to a code. At least Marilyn Mosby's church congregation was on code with her and was in support of her. You know what I'm saying? Whether she's wrong or right. Hey, man, you got to support your people because ain't nobody else going to support you. But like I said, man, if you even think about, you know, getting into it with people that look like you, man, just think about it and just be like, it ain't even that. It ain't that deep. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say about each one teaching 21. You know, out of that 21, 4 or 5 might fuck with you. The rest of them motherfuckers ain't gonna fuck with you. Oh, well, you can't save everybody. And when I mean save everybody, sometimes it is not our job to be Morpheus and try to awaken everybody that's in the system. Sometimes you gotta just be like, nigga, look, this what it is. You don't like it? Hey, man, just do the research for yourself. Don't believe me. Do the research on your own. Because I think a lot of the times in this day's society, so many different distractions, it is hard for you as a human being to really be sane, mentally sane, because everybody's competing with everybody on social media. Every time you step out the house, you got to be fresh. You got to have a better car. It's always a competition. So when you're always dealing with competition, it's hard for you to be mentally sane sometimes and handle business. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying that it's correct. You know what I'm saying? You see me flipping through this book. He got a whole bunch of shit. If you do not have constructive employment, and or if you are without the things that you must have for constructive self-support, food, garments, shelter, do one or more of the following, preferably in the following sequence. Go wherever necessary to seek constructive temporary shelter and housing. Like, he's got it broken down in simplistic form, man. Just some of the things that I've read in this book. And you see, I'm dealing with it because I feel in today's society that you have a portion of us that are starting to awaken and starting to be like, let me support a black business. Let me recycle these dollars. Let me support this brother. Let me not worry about how many followers he got on Twitter. Let me just fuck with him because he seemed like a cool brother. Let me not try to be in his personal business and finances. Oh, he ain't got no money. So, you know, no, let me just support my brother and sister. You know what I'm saying? Within reason. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I've been at that point because, see, when you're dealing with me and my family, and I can only speak about my family, I can't speak on nobody else. I've lost a lot of family members to violence. I've been to a lot of funerals with a lot of family members. And you know, you don't ever get over it. They say time heals all wounds. You really don't. You know, you think you do, but you don't. And as time goes on, it saddens you because you're like, damn, man, you know, I can't believe they gone. And, you know, especially when you grew up with these family members. You know what I'm saying? So it's just one of those things where it's like,
what are we fighting for? Why are we fighting each other? Because a lot of this does not make sense.
So I just don't understand a lot of why we fight each other. That's all. I just don't understand that. That's a question that I'm always ask. Like, what do you gain by fighting somebody else that look like you when all of us are victims of racism and white supremacy? You are dependent upon the system. Whether you're going to get shelter or you're going to get the EBT card or you're going to go to work, unless you are a business owner and you are thriving and you know how to make a way out of no way, you know. But most of those people that are business owners and my rights and just watching from afar, they don't have time to be bickering and fighting with people. They just don't have time. And they do make a conscious effort to draw a line of demarcation and be like, no, nigga, you're not finna come over here with this bullshit. And I think a lot of us, you know, have that. You said cornbread, man, for real. Niggas be fighting over cornbread type shit. No, and you know what? As I think and I look back on a lot of my family members that I lost, you know, and it like I said, it not only does it sadden me, it just makes me like, damn, man, like our generations of trauma and the lack of parenting and the lack of mentorship and guidance, like, you know, I just think about that, man, because I often think about my family members that I lost. You know, there's not a day that don't go by that I don't. I know a lot of my family members do too, maybe at their own times, but it is fucked up, man, because you like, damn. Like, you get to a point where you like, what the fuck are we fighting each other for? And when it comes to volatile occurrences and situations, it's like niggas be fighting over turfs that they don't even own. And while we fighting each other, they killed Nip. They sent somebody that looked just like Nip to kill him. That's why I'm like, you start thinking and you like, what the fuck am I up here fighting? I don't have time for that, man. Like, if you want to make time for tearing down your brother or your sister, and every time you get around, it's just you want to tear them down and do all this other stuff, then I think you need to reevaluate your life. And you need to reevaluate your lane and reevaluate who you are as a person. Because we have to start being the example for these younger generation. And a lot of these, you know, this younger generation is such a fast pace and instant gratification. I get it why they don't want to listen. That's why that's why at a certain point it does not bother me, because you're competing with the internet. And a lot of people believe that the internet is real. So it's like, why even try to compete? Just go into your studies, read your book, and do what you need to do. And stay on your grind and focus and handle your business. And the reason why I say that a lot of the times is because I'm going to keep saying this. I'm not saying I lost a lot of family members, but my real family know we done lost a lot of motherfucking family members to that violent shit. And when I mean a lot, gone. And we not talking about no fucking 40 years old and 50 years old and they gone. No, nigga, we talking about in their 20s. In their 30s, just gone, you know, in an instant. So when you think about that, you like, wow, maybe I just need to just start reevaluating like how I'm gonna go about my lane. That's why I'm very, very, very much on point where you're not gonna waste my time. That's why I say shout out to all my melanated people at the Core Plantation, because we have to understand we have a commonality there. We have a common denominator, which is us being melanated. That should establish the common denominator, but whether we choose to get along is another. And you do have a lot of people that are socialized differently from other people. You have some people that socialize that, oh, the Lord gonna take care of everything. You have some people that socialize that's gonna be vocal, like, hey man, I'm not gonna smile with these people. And you have certain people that socialize, well, you better smile so you get that money. So it's like, who are you to try to change somebody's belief system in this system of racism, white supremacy, which I like to call the Matrix. Because that's what it is. That's what it is. And the people at the very top, they are the architects of the system. That sit in a chair and watch everything going on from a TV screen. That's what they're doing. And that's fine. That's just our job to educate and do what we need to do and not be out here trying to compete with the younger generation. Let them have their thing, and then hopefully as they mature and they get older in their thinking, they'll understand the groundwork and the steps that we laid before them so they can understand that, man. Because like I said again, man, when you see a lot of family members lose their life, you like, that's why I just be like, I don't even really have time for, people's foolishness. And when I mean that, I'm talking about, you have your friends that want to come around and waste your time and all that. That's why I'm very big on time wasting shit, because I'm not finna be going through that, man. I'm not finna be going through that. And I just think that it's very, very important for us to study. Know your history. Go back and study. Go back and study. You know what I mean? Go get books like A Price for a Pound of Flesh. Go get The Untold Story of Una Judge, Never Caught. How Martha Washington had 17,500 acres of land, but nigga can't even get a half an acre. You know how much an acre costs in Vegas? An acre in Vegas costs like $2-3 million right now. And Martha Washington had 1,700 acres of that. She had 1,700 of them motherfuckers. But nobody thinks that there's nothing wrong. People think there's nothing wrong with that. And I get it. That's why they dominate 9 areas of people activity. And while we sitting around here flossing on each other and fighting with each other, the dominant society is letting off people like the nigga that shot Laquan McDonald, but indicting Marilyn Mosby. While Ghislaine Maxwell is just basically playing possum. Like, yeah, y'all don't let me off, I'm about to start throwing motherfuckers under the bus. It's like, well, why don't y'all just throw the book at this bitch because she don't want to cooperate? You know what I'm saying? But then we turn around and you got motherfuckers like Jasmine Guy talking shit about Bill Cosby. I am so sick of my people, because they're not relevant, talking shit about Bill Cosby. If I see one motherfucking person go on TV or TMZ or internet and have some sucker shit to say about Bill Cosby, man, you are officially a fucking Sambo and a coon, man. Niggas are just, some of the shit I say is unbelievable. That's why I was looking at Jasmine Guy like, bitch, Bill Cosby made your career. And now you want to talk shit about him? I will give Jill Scott that. She never talked shit about Bill Cosby. She never talked shit about Bill Cosby. But everybody else was. He did a lot of shit for a lot of black folk. Yeah, he gave us the pound cake speech, but that does not take away the shit that he did for black folk. Motherfucker want to talk shit about him now. After he gave millions and millions of dollars to people, now motherfuckers want to talk shit. Because these bitches from 1970 talking about, oh my God, he drugged me. Bitch, it took you 30 years to come out and tell us? Get the fuck out of here, man. Then why did you go back? Oh, well, I wanted a Jell-O pudding snack. Man, get the fuck out of here, man. Some of this shit, I'll be like, that's why I don't even watch the news no more. I don't even watch the news. It's hard for me to watch football. It's hard for me to watch. Just let me tell you something. My brother, No Compromise. I know, Taj, you going. I was watching the Steelers, and the first thing I saw was Ben Roethlisberger on there. Ain't he like 50 years old? Still the quarterback, and he had all these sexual assault cases and shit. They never did nothing to that motherfucker. They never said nothing and did nothing to him. That shit blows my mind. I went back in the archives on Bill Cosby, and he was the definition of critical race theory professor. His broadcast, he was still youthful. Look, man, Bill Cosby is not perfect. I never claimed, we know he's not. He made mistakes like everybody else. And that's a fact. He was more, he was more on some liberal shit when he was younger. But you know one thing I can never say, Erica, we cannot take away from what he did for people. You can't take away. That's why like Keisha Knight Polium and I forgot his name, Malcolm Jamal Warner, like you don't really hear them, and Felicia Rashad, you don't hear them saying shit about him because he did some real shit for them. He put them in position to win. And when somebody putting you in position to win, I get it. There's a certain loyalty, but a lot of us, we long to want to fight each other because that's all we know. That's all we've been socialized to. You know what I mean? So it's like, I got love for my people. I got love, for my people that's got their black businesses and stuff like that. And I know it's a struggle and I know it's hard. And I'm going to be honest with you, man. That shit is not easy getting up and going to a corporate plantation job every day. I don't give a fuck what it is. That shit is not fun when you're a black person. If you go to a job, you see a black person grinning and smiling, that's a problem. Because most niggas, when you go on the jobs and you see most niggas, they don't do no smiling because that's the code that we have. Like, that's the energy that we have. Like, there's an unwritten rule where we don't have to speak to each other because we know, like, man, this is some bullshit. What's happening, my nigga? But this is some bullshit. And we know that about each other. We know, like, fuck, I don't want to be here, and I know you don't want to be here. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to them. Let me see. He was dropping knowledge. Damn, you got to post it again. It just deleted it, Erica. But yeah, man, some of the shit, man, it just tripped me out. And I hope Marilyn Mosby get through this. I hope black folk don't desert her and stand behind her. And rally behind her, man. And reason why you saying that, Warren, is because, man, we all we got, man. We all we got, man. We all we got. So, motherfucker, all these other racial groups, they laughing at you. I was watching this. I looked at this thing from 90 Day Fiance the other day. This little short Russian midget bitch posted some shit about, oh, I'm going to a nigga party or some shit like that. And then the bitch tried to lie and say it wasn't real. Bitch, you know what you're doing. First of all, you got a lot of you have a lot of gumption to post anything about any racial group. And bitch, we can see your feet and your head on your driver's license. If you can drive. With your midget ass. So I don't understand that shit. I just be looking at people like, man, people be saying the boldest shit. And then we be so quick to, like, defend them. Let them defend themselves. Like, we gotta stop, man. That's just how I feel, man. Defend your people. And when you get around your people and they want to be argumentative and all that, just step back. Move aside to move ahead. They'll see. They'll see. But I'm going to tell you right now, man, it is up to you to be in your own lane and handle your business. It is not up to everybody else. You have to be responsible for you. So you got to make sure you're good. And you cannot allow anybody else to circumvent your narrative and what you got going on. And I'm talking about for my 30 and 40 year olds. Maybe late 20s, but more 30 and 40 year olds. You know what I'm saying? Because that's our growing pride. You 30 and 40, you still growing. No, you're not yet. You are. You're still learning. You're always still learning. But when you get 70 and 80, that's when you become wise. But your 30s, 40s, and 50s, you're learning. You're constantly learning. You're constantly evolving. Your brain is constantly downloading information. So it's like, I just feel like, man, and it's tough, man. I want to say happy birthday to my sis, too. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Tasha. Happy birthday to Mariah. I know it's their birthday. R.I.P. Happy birthday to my mom. It's a difficult month. Moms ain't around. We would. Y'all often hear me talk about how we would go to my mom's house and we would have discussions. Oh man, I wish I would have videotaped those. My little sister told me to record us, and I didn't. I wish I would have. We had some classic time. I'm talking about all of us. I'm talking about when all 6 of us get together. Oh, it's a problem. Y'all niggas think I'm funny. My siblings, they are the comedians. I think what they say and do make me laugh. So it's like we had great times, man, and that time did not last long. And the reason why I'm telling you, and I'm gonna be transparent. When you want your parents to be something that they're not, that's going to torment you. And that's what I learned about my mother. We had a very, very tumultuous relationship, because of different circumstances. And the one thing that I can give advice to is when you have those circumstances, you got to know how to have a conversation with questions and not more of a conversation where it's derogatory and it turns into something else. You have to have a conversation where you have to really put the emotions to the side and come with the facts. Like, hey, well, what was up with this? You know, and I give my mom's props. She kept it a buck about a lot of the stuff as we got older. And you know, with her being gone, it makes me think of my mom was a big family person. Big time family. Just family. If you're not family, she didn't really want you. Just family. And you know, my mom didn't have a family like that. She had her siblings, but she didn't have a big family growing up. So when we were around our first and second cousins and everybody, my mom and I get why she was like that. She just wanted to cherish every moment because, you know, you don't get those days again. I remember when I was a kid, my mom was always, no, family. And then when I got older, you know, I didn't think it was a big deal at first. But then by the time I got to my 30s, I started to understand a little bit. And by the time you really, really understand what, you know, family is about and the type of relationship you can have with your parents, they gone. And that's one of the main things that I would say to everybody, like, don't fight your people. And when I mean your people that look like you, man, remember, when you get ready to get into it with somebody, think, you gonna act like that with the dominant society? Because a lot of niggas have all this pent-up energy towards their own people, and then when it comes to white folk, we start bucking our eyes and shit. So that's all I wanted to say, man. Don't buck your eyes at the white folk and then you want to pull a gun on your niggas. And everybody out there handle business. And, man, much love and respect to Marilyn Mosby, man. I hope she make it through. We cannot do what they do, but still, we still got to coalesce around her and have her back. And hopefully everybody else gets the same treatment that she got, that she's getting, because they are really trying to damage her character to no end. Hey, man, that's my time. I went over by 6 minutes. Erica, Shawnee, Tasha, you already know what it is. Tasha, I'm going to take your CMOS tomorrow. I got some shit to handle. Hey, man, when y'all get a chance, man, check out this book, My Grandmother's Hands. Very good book, decent book. And I'm already on that Tariq Nasheed book. That shit is good. But anyway, and if you're dealing with somebody that's up there talking about, well, Marilyn Mosby shouldn't have been doing that because, you know, yeah, we can't do what they do, but okay, she did it. If she did do it, okay, fine. That don't mean we can't have her back. White people had Martha Stewart's back. Martha Stewart got out of prison and did a talk show with Snoop Dogg. She probably got more money now than she had when she went in prison. So when motherfuckers start saying that, they a Sambo, Coon, Mammy, tell them about the gun line, Hayward, Shepherd, Steve from Jago. Guilty nigga, and I don't fuck with you. Man, I'm out. I'll holler at y'all Thursday. Peace.